it's not working. I guess we're just starting without an intro.
Oh,
because my intro button's not working. Boop 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 boop
I
boop
live.
boop 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 boop. All right, well, welcome to issue in episode 114. 114. Patty, what up, man? I got my Tummy's coffee. What? Timmy's coffee good
Timmy's.
to go.
Timmy's,
Sing the song. I'm not singing the song, Patty. Great show. Thank you, Trail. I'm not singing it. I don't know why it's not working. Hopefully my other buttons work, or we are screwed for the night. But welcome. We're starting the show without an intro. I feel like my mic is just like
poopy.
Well, look at it.
In your face?
It's not. It's supposed to be right here, but it doesn't feel right. Like it counts. Maybe this is better. How's that? Does that work, James? Does that work? Maybe that's better.
Just give him a second, guys.
This is just.
To get it together.
It's because we didn't have the intro. I'm just out of sorts now. What up, Joe? What up, Patty? All right, here we go. Let's start the show. No intro. We can do this. We're going to talk about some business, and then we're going to talk about this massive week that we had. Yes,
it's quite large.
It's quite large. Anyway, so let's talk about our show's sponsor. Man, everybody's here. Sebastian, Calvin, Patty, Joe.
Hello.
Trail, what's up? All right, so our show's sponsor is Collected Comics and Games. That's our LCS here in the DFW area. If you ever get the chance, you should check out Collected Comics and Games. There are two locations, one on Altamere in Fort Worth and one in Keller, and they're both awesome. And yeah, check it out. But they have a website called brainycomics.com. So hopefully this button works. It does. This is their website, brainycomics.com, where you can do a little bit of holiday shopping, and you can buy everything from exclusive and variant covers, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys, collectibles, and even trading cards. It's pretty cool. But after you get done shopping, right? After you do all that, you get, put everything in your cart and you're about to check out. Before you do that, what up, Tendu? Man, everybody's here. This is great. You go up to that search bar, right? And you type in 2 Fat Guys Pool Lists. And when you press enter, this is what's going to pop up. A 2 Fat Guys Pool List upgrade and premium upgrade. Now the upgrade, when you put it in your cart, you will get access and you will get a mystery exclusive comic cover in whatever you buy, and it'll be shipped and mailed to you, and you'll be like, yay, I got a mystery comic. If you do the premium though, you get 2 for $15. Now you're probably asking Jim, like, what, that's it seems kind of like a steep price. You're like, no, actually it's not. You go over here and check out the actual, prices. I mean, $10, you can get this awesome magic cover. So you might get that one, right, for $8. But if you do the 15, you might get 2 of these. It's pretty freaking sweet. So head on over to brainycomics.com, do a little bit of shopping, then put this mystery upgrade or premium upgrade in your cart, and then you might get some. You're gonna get some cool stuff mailed to your house. Now, you may not get the exact cover that you want. That's why it's a mystery. But Ron will do his best to kind of mix and match what you get when you put it in your cart. So check it out today. Go to brainycomics.com, do a little bit of shopping, put in the stuff, and you're good to go. So that's the first bit of business. The other one, we always talk about it. We're trying to hit 750 subscribers, guys, and we are so close. So close. And once we hit 750, we'll stop talking about it, right? Because then we'll start talking about 850 and we're giving away a book. But anyway, when we hit 750, we're giving away this CGC graded 9.4 Silver Surfer Black second printing with Null on the cover. It's pretty sweet. We want to give it away. 750. Let's get it done, guys. We got to hit it. So hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. You know what to do. And everybody that's already here, that's faithful to the 2 Fat Guys Pool List, we much appreciate you doing that. And we would love for you to share out the show when you can and when you feel like you want to. You don't have to do it because we say so, but we'd really appreciate it if you did. And then, as always, we're going to talk about what we're going to give away at 1,000 subscribers. You guys know, and this book is just climbing in value right now. the CBCS graded 9.8, original Sentai and Amazing Spider-Man number 4, the first appearance of Silk, and she is getting her own TV show on Amazon. So it's coming, guys. We want to, we shouldn't give this away. We really shouldn't. We've been told. Nate has told me many times, why are we giving this away? Well, it's because I want to give back to this community that we're building. I want to show the love. I know that we could take the the low road and just say, the gift is they get to see our beautiful faces every Sunday and every Tuesday. But I want to give back, guys. So let's hit that 1,000 sub goal and let's give away some books, so then we can set up a new list of things to give away when we hit the next sub goal, which I guess is 2,000. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think 10,000, which that would be pretty insane, but we'll have to wait. We have to make it happen first before we can even say that. But anyway, that is the business for the week, and let's get to the show, shall we? Chat. Joe says, I was going to take a week off from reading, but then everyone trying to spoil Batman this week. I understand the backlash from that fall. Yeah, don't do that. And then Tennis says Batman is good, and Joe says, watch the 750th person to sub, and I win the book after we heard the same speech for months. Hey, man, you don't have to listen to it if we can just hit 750. Anyway, guys, yeah, crazy week, and we're just gonna jump right into it because we've got a ton of books to talk about. Some we're gonna talk about more, some we're gonna talk about less. And first up, we're gonna talk about less, and that is Avengers issue number 63, the Avengers Assemble event, part 2 from Jason Aaron. This actually was really fun, and it was, to me, a lot better than the Avengers Assemble Alpha. This felt like this was it. Like, this actually felt like part 1 rather than part 2. Not that things that happened in part 1 obviously were in this book, which were cool. But this felt much more fluid and much more, I guess, connected to what Aaron is trying to achieve. In my opinion, the first one was more, it felt very gimmicky and more like, hey, we're just trying to sell an alpha rather than move the plot forward. So this one actually felt good. We lose some players on both sides, which is, hey, we've got some consequence hopefully here. And basically at the end, the Phoenix is coming back. She's coming home to roost. Mommy's home. That's right, Joe. Mommy is home. She's coming to save her son and to save the Earth again. But we'll see. Joe, I thought throughout the issue that Jim will finally get on board, but then that last page, I lost all hope. Maybe Avengers Forever will slap. I mean, her showing up, I guess kind of shows how, like, just insane the threat level is for this event. I mean, you've got literally a multiverse army of Mephistos, and then you've got this multiverse of Doom here. So, the stakes are pretty high. I don't think she's going to be as OP as Aaron is hyping her up to be. But I do still, I'm if you're alluding to the fact that, it's Thor's mom, yeah, I still don't like that. Yeah, it's funny to, I do like the mommy's home. That's true. She's coming home, but I'm still not buying her being the mother of Thor. It seems very like, this is getting, just rammed down our throats, and but I guess the Odin event, Odin Phoenix reunion will be pretty cool. I guess we'll see. I don't know, but just have to wait and see. All right, next up we have Captain Marvel issue number 44, Revenge of the Brood, part dose.
Is that the cover you got?
I believe it is. I didn't go for any cool ones. What'd you get? Nice, you get the Momoko. Very nice.
Yeah, had to do it.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just, I'm a stickler for cover A's, even if they're shit, because I just want, I want to keep I want it all in line. I want it linear. I want it good. What do you think of this issue?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know if there's anything that we can say about this issue quality-wise that we haven't said for 44 issues of Thompson's run, but this is just the silly goose time that it is every single month that it comes out. I thought that we had a little bit of stakes here too. You know, they're really lost in space, and so even though Rogue, you know, they're contemplating killing the brutified Rogue, because yeah, she could be resurrected, but they're way out in space, and they can't, you know, contact them immediately, and who knows how long it's going to take, and plus they're really far away, and it was like the one way they could kind of create stakes for a mutant dying. But I just love this cast. Like, I love the whole supporting cast for Captain Marvel, like Hazmat and Spider-Woman, just chilling, and then we've got the mutants in there as well. I don't know, this is it's just a lot of fun. It's a really fun issue.
No, that's been the most consistent thing we've said about the Captain Marvel run from Thompson, is it's just really fun, and there are times when it's fun and it feels very consequential, and then there are times it's just a silly goose time, and we're kind of in that phase right now where it's silly goose time, but it's still really fun to read. You know, I think the arc with Namor's son with Enchantress was really cool. Like that actually felt like it had some weight and consequence. Whereas this one right now does feel like a silly goose time. But that being said, like, they're gonna cross over with the X-Men book, so it might start turning in from a silly goose time to like actual consequence.
Well, and honestly, I wonder.
Kind of had a little bit in this one. Sorry, I'm sorry. I meant to say we kind of had a little bit in this one because they mention the alliance between the mutants and the Brood, and clearly something has turned, and we don't know yet. Like, we don't know why.
Yeah, and this continues the ongoing, I wouldn't say focus, but ongoing consistency that we have at least one or two, maybe even three storylines spread out throughout all of Marvel of space stuff going on, space politics going on, which of course makes me very happy, but it makes me wonder if maybe Thompson and Al Ewing have been chatting a little bit, and just
I'm sure
Ewing saying, you know, you've got Binary, you know, let's do a little anniversary Brood story. We need to get caught up on what's going on in the Brood, because it looks like well, I don't remember his name. It's just Brew, the King Egg.
Yeah, I think it's Brew. Yeah.
It looks like he's either not in power anymore, or there's like a revolting, rebellion sect or something, and so we're already having some pretty precarious space issues anyway. So it seems like this is a way to introduce the Brood into that power dynamic.
And it also, it also makes me a little worried though with like the status quo that we've set up with Hickman, what he did with the Brood, and like the Queen Egg or whatever it was. I feel like, and this is more of me just a little worried with X-Men comics and wanting the status quo to be where it is, but things will change, and I'm wondering if this is like us kind of chipping away at what Hickman created, so that when the inevitable fall of Krakoa and X-Men comic books are rebooted, this is not, this alliance is nothing. This alliance is no longer existent, and this is how they're going to kind of take care of it in the background.
You know what I just realized? This might be a slight non sequitur, but I just realized, you know what phrase I think I hate in all of comics the most right now? Jonathan Hickman's X-Men. I'm so fucking tired of hearing that.
Tendu.
It's been years. Like, give it a fucking rest. It's not happening. It doesn't exist. It's not real. We got to stop. We got to stop saying, we got to stop saying, how is this going to affect the one issue Jonathan Hickman wrote in 2018? I don't give a fuck.
Today is December. Today is December 11th, right? And whenever it gets announced, whatever Hickman's doing, and it inevitably is Hickman's coming back to write the end of X-Men. I'm gonna clip this, and then I'm gonna play it whenever we do a live or in solicitations.
I feel very confident that's.
But Joe's right there with you. Joe's right there with you.
I just I loved it, and it was a good time. It didn't work out. We're years removed. We got to move on. We gotta
it's just so
quit worrying about how
dude.
it wasn't though. It wasn't. It was this much. It was this much.
Nah, dude. It set up all of this.
It didn't.
It did. If he didn't write his thing, they would have killed Rogue. How would she have come back alive?
I'm over it.
No. Now you're being
I do not
picky.
care.
You're over it. That's why he sold his House of Power. He's like, fuck this shit. I don't want
Joe, yes, Zack Snyder is unquestionably the number 2 name I'm so tired of hearing. I don't want to ever hear that name in comics again. Like, I want to see Hickman do something. I don't want to see Zack Snyder direct another
it's that
comic movie for the rest of my life.
It's that meme where that thing is poking at it, like poking something with a stick. It's like, move, do something. Yeah, for sure. All right. Next up, we have Daredevil issue number 6 from Zdarsky. This was fire, dude. Like,
this is my Marvel pick of the week.
I would agree. No, you know what? It's not mine, but it's damn close. This was really good. I'm really loving what Zdarsky's laying down here. I mean, it's just the dynamic, the social commentary, which he's continuously done throughout his whole Daredevil run. And it's almost kind of full circle now, because like originally, a couple arcs ago, Daredevil was in prison. It was a commentary on the prison system. Then what does he do? He kind of creates his own prison without him really thinking about it. And he's got a prisoner telling him like, hey, yo, we're not free. And you're trying to, reform us and make us feel better and make us feel like we're part of society when we're still stuck on an island, aka a prison. I thought that was really powerful.
Yeah.
But we've got this conflict coming between Daredevil and Punisher, which I'm really excited to see. I just hope we stick the landing, and I'm sure it will. Because I get a growing sense that Daredevil is out the door for Zdarsky here pretty soon after this event. I think this is probably his conclusion. He's crescendoing to a peak, and then I think it's going to ramp down. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
I think we're years away. I think at least.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think he gets another 30 issues in this volume. Yeah, I don't think we're going anywhere in this book. There's no reason.
All right, I hope you're right, because I for some reason just get this sense that, like, I mean, we're coming to this huge finality of the sense that either Elektra or Murdoch are going to die. That Daredevil's going to die. Someone's dying at the end of this arc, at the end of this story. And we don't got no Lazarus Pits. I mean, I guess we do, in the sense of Krakoa having resurrection protocols for humans now, and I don't know if that's a charity thing or not. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure if the actual Daredevil were to die, they would resurrect him. But that's my only worry. Outside of that, this was a fantastic story. I think the writing was on point. The commentary was on point. The artwork was fantastic. I top notch.
Yep. I don't have too much more to add. I think the social commentary that Chip Zdarsky includes is really, really. I think because it hits at something that I think is almost like a known universal problem, especially like our prison system and the way that we rehabilitate people in this country. I really don't think that is a partisan issue. I think we all can agree that the way we do things is pretty fucked up. And to tackle an issue like that in comics in a way that makes perfect sense for the story that we're currently telling, and for it to work in the comic world, is not an easy feat. I think Chip has done a really good job to do that and not make it feel like he's pandering to his audience. That he's telling a story that is uniquely sensitive to, I think, Daredevil. I think one of my favorite quotes that I've had in comics in a while, maybe even this year, I'm not gonna be able to find it now, but it's basically like Daredevil is having his inner monologue, and he says, the system of law that I've defended my entire life put these people away, and yet I've also spent so many years outside of that system as Daredevil, because deep down I think I know better than these laws. And I think that this issue is a really good representation of how Daredevil's kind of like a flawed, tragic hero, and is kind of like an embodiment of a contradiction, because he has certain moral guidelines that he always fails to live up to.
Right.
I loved it. This was.
Oh, it was a great issue. Yeah, it's definitely up there as it would have been my pick of the week for Marvel if there hadn't been another book. And it's because of what that book is establishing. And I feel we'll get there, but I feel like the book that's my pick of the week for Marvel is taking notes from Donny Cates. Like, clearly people at the Marvel offices are like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we can play into this idea, so we'll get there. But I definitely dug it. Rehabilitate from Calvin. 10 Daredevil issue was Heat. Last issue it involved Avengers. Now the Punisher. Awesome.
We're gonna see more Punisher too.
Oh yeah, big time. Joe, Chip Z and Aaron are working together on making the continuity lineup, and there will be a crossover, but nothing huge, is what Chip has said. It might be something that like Banner of War. I'd be okay with that.
That'd be really great.
Yeah, great. I don't need a dark web. I don't need 15 different tie-ins. I don't need a King in Black. I don't need 15 different tie-ins in a box and a poster and things that are just like, oh, we're Black Cat's is a tie-in to King of Black. No, it didn't. No, it's not. No, it's not. So I'm fine with it. I think there needs to be more Banner of War style events where it's just kind of self-contained. Maybe it's in 2 different books and then there's an Alpha, Omega, and Middles. That's fine. I think that's where it needs to live. I think that's the best way to do it because it's engaging to those readers rather than saying, hey, everybody, buy into this event and then you don't know diddly squat about it because you didn't read Eternals. Like, I mean, for us, it worked, but for a majority of the community, it was like, why do I care? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, speaking of dark web, yep, go ahead.
Before we move on, I tend to just right before we were transitioning over to Daredevil said, in regards to my Hickman comics, I don't understand if you read all of Hickman's F4 and Avengers run, like, how do you not feel robbed by hacks, trash, and cretins? And I have 2 things I want to make sure I'm clear on because I don't know. I guess I didn't say this correctly. I don't think Hickman's involvement with X-Men was bad at all. I was being facetious. I think that what he did was very, very, very good. I just think that like it's very sad that we didn't get it. I agree. I wish that he was still on. He was still running the whole damn thing, and he was writing 10 books himself. But like we got to move on. Like I mean, it's been years and years and years and years. And I do understand your passion for it, but I do think
I think it's because
hacks, trash, and cretins is maybe a little too strong for what's going on right now because there may be some things that aren't great, but I think that we've had some really, really, really good books from Ewing, 2 separate books that have been great. Kieran Gillen's books have been really great. I've personally loved Teenie Howard's books. I think Sabretooth was an underdog that should get more credit. I haven't been reading it.
I think where the passion comes into lies, and I think we could totally do a whole live just debating Hickman, which would be awesome. You know what? I'm going to send him an email. Be like, hey, come on our show.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's going to come. Don't worry. Is because I think what it is because in chat, let me know, obviously if I'm wrong or if I'm not hitting the right beat, but I think it's because he takes franchises that have been kind of just dusty, and have been sitting around and doing the same thing over and over again. And that's, that's what people want sometimes. And, like he took X-Men where prior it was, I'm assuming it was X-Men Red and Gold and Blue or whatever the fuck was going on there. And then he just flipped it, right? He just changed the status quo. He set this game changer of an event and, status within the Marvel comic universe where other comics had like, people have to deal with Krakoa now. People have to deal with Resurrection Protocol now. Now people know about it. I don't know if that was ever in his plan to find out about that. But, it was just taking something that we all loved and cherished. And then when you read Hoxpox, it was just like, oh my God, like this is such a fresh take. And the possibilities are endless. And then it just kind of went, it went the course with Hickman, but then, people, I say, too much. People in the X office wanted to go their own directions, and the majority wanted to stay in this rather than continue the narrative and push the story and create the drama and the new things to get people's jaws to drop on the floor. And so, what you said, Nate, is right. We're all disappointed that he didn't get to try it on, but I think there's just, we're just kind of, I think people that continue to bring up Hickman, me and Tendu included, are just hoping for that magic again, where you read it and like you literally say out loud, oh shit, because it's such a departure from the norm of these characters or a narrative that's been played over and over and over again. I think it's just magical. Like he just knows how to hook people. And that's not to say that there aren't people in the X office or at Marvel or shit, even DC that can't do that. They do. It's just when it comes around, you better be around for it. And like the fact that we even were able to catch it, you know, because we missed that event. We totally, I can't even imagine how it felt to read that issue where the whole X team dies on the Orcus motherboard satellite going around the sun. Like, can you imagine picking that up, reading that, and going, "Oh, gotta wait 2 weeks," you know, or whatever? I would have been devastated.
Yeah.
Anyway, Daredevil, great.
Sebastian asked, "Do we think that this story arc of Daredevil is better or as good as the first few arcs by Zdarsky in his first run?"
I think it's ramping up, in my opinion, to be better.
I would say that it's on par, or maybe like eighth of an inch underneath so far. Because this issue I loved. This issue with Blue being away, but I would say that like issues 2 and 3, I was sort of like, what are we doing here? But I still think it's really great. But I would say that it's maybe if you can't make it equal, which I would rather do, then I would this one slightly.
Okay, I'm gonna go slightly above because I think, you know, this world building that we're doing and we're kind of like being self-contained event, I can appreciate it. Even though like we're getting Avengers in here. Ooh, that's cool. Like Avengers that aren't like fighting a multiverse level threat that's just so bloated that it's just ready to pop. This makes it feel grounded. It makes this story is making other heroes feel I don't want to say normal, but just believable, I guess was the word. I don't know. It sounds stupid. Calvin says when he read it, he thought it was an alternate universe when they died. See, like we'll never, like, you know, we got the next issue. You know what I mean? Like we went right into it, and so I can't even imagine what it was like reading it live. Anyway, Daredevil, freaking fun.
Great.
All right, and that's your Marvel pick of the week. Dark Web, issue number 1. Nice cover there. That's very nice.
I got the moment.
Is that a cover A basically, or like is it like it's not an incentive, right?
No, it's not. It's a normal ratio.
God, she's killing it, dude.
I'm too poor to buy ratios.
I have yet to catch or grab or get a Momoko variant in Snap, and dude, the day it happens, I will be posting it on social. I'll be losing my mind. The bones of this are fun. The idea of this event, I think, is cool. Again, where it's losing me, I'm liking all the Spidey stuff. I really do. I like the Ben Reilly get pissed at Peter and he wants to get his memories back that he believes they're his, rather except they're actually Peter's. And we're just seeing like, you know, his demons basically, literally and figuratively. But I just can't get into Madelyne Pryor and her starting the shit. You know, I really hope that by the mid, if not at the end of this, she has been corrupted by X in Limbo, because she had such a redeeming arc in the X books, and it is literally being thrown in the trash in this event, and I think it's worse for it, in my opinion. And then just one more thing, the introduction of Venom in here makes no sense to me. No sense.
Well, we haven't been reading Venom, so maybe it does in some way. However, and there is clearly, because Joe right here says Venom going back to eating brains is awesome. There's clearly an audience for this. I'm not a member of that audience. Venom, as we've established Venom as like after Donnie's run, Venom is straight up good. Like there's no like question, or is he good or are we not good? He's got a little no, like he's a good guy. And so the fact that they're able to just flip him like a switch and he's an animal eating brains again, like done, don't care, stupid. It makes me lose interest. I'm not saying it's bad writing, because I'm not super well versed in the character. I don't particularly care about the character. Anyway, it could make sense with what's going on with Venom, but I think you're right. I will stick to the main Spider issues. I thought this was like a whole event that had like a bunch of like it's a bunch of its own books though. I didn't realize that we were essentially just jumping across a few things and that was it. Like there's literally only a dark web, dusk and dawn. That's it. There's no dark web 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought we had a whole thing like that. So it looks like we've got Amazing Spider-Man, Dark Web X-Men, Gold Goblin, Venom, and the Mary Jane and Black Cat stuff. And one issue of Dark Web Marvel.
So Tendu says in Venom it's been 0. Venom has been focusing on Dylan, not Brock. Joe says Madam has his son Dylan, and that's the motivation is for June Venom 13. I guess for me, like I think, again, we haven't read it, right? But if it were me, and again, haven't read Venom, but to me, the play that they're dealing with, it feels like it should be Dylan. It should be Dylan dealing, like being the one coerced and being eating brains and losing control because he just had it, right? Whereas Brock is out in the, last I read, again, I haven't read it, but to me, Brock is a good guy. Brock is a what's like a level, power level. He's the freaking
above normal. He's like
he's the king in black. Like the dude has symbiotes everywhere, and so to me, it doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't make much sense.
Feels weird.
Feels weird. Okay, yeah. And then Tendu says 0 setup for the X-Men on this side. I agree. It's just like, and the X-Men are involved because Madelyne Pryor is involved, and she wants her memories back. But she's got to use Ben Reilly because if she interferes, then she'll lose Limbo. Bitch, she just basically declared war. Like, you're involved. It's over, dude. Like, so I really am hoping that there is some redeeming arc here in the sense that she's corrupted by like the minute she hit Limbo, a spirit possessed her, or, she got infected by, something like that. I really hope. I'm sure that's not the case. So it is what it is. Joe says, I don't know. I'm reading Venom in trade, but going off what is this issue I said, so I haven't read 13 yet. Gotcha. To be fair, there was 0 setup for Hawksbox. It happens sometime in comics. No, you're right. It's just there was buildup for a lot of these characters that it just feels like the continuity has been completely thrown out the door. And to me, like, the King in Black would not be like, where's my son? Okay, you're gonna upgrade. Ugh, I'm eating brains. Like, it just doesn't feel.
Well, they altered him and affect him in a way, but like it feels like they shouldn't have been strong enough to be able to do that.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say is like he's on a different level, I would assume. I guess in Limbo it just doesn't matter. But I love how I'm literally losing my shit over a comic book. Calvin, I agree. Sometimes things happen because comics this week's perfect for that. Yeah, no, you're totally right. X-Men before Hawksbox was in Limbo or just flatlined. Yeah. I don't know. There were things in here that I liked. That's what I want to say. I actually liked the art a lot in the book. I thought it was cool. And I really am digging Chisholm. Or how do you say his name? Chasm. I'm digging him. Like, I really like Ben Reilly as this character. I really like the suit design. I think it's dope. First world problems. That's right. All right, let's jump into Fantastic Four, issue number 2. I liked this issue, and I don't know if that's a commentary on issue 1 dealing with Ben and his wife, and I feel like that should have been in issue 2, if not 3, because this felt like more of an opening issue than the first issue. I'll say it. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense starting with Reed and Sue first, but I'm sure Ryan North was trying to shake it up a little bit by doing Alicia and Ben first. Whatever. They feel about the same. I guess it does make a little bit more sense with the small background narrative we had here of Sue writing her letter to Jen And like it was, we were doing our little allusion to what happened in New York, but of course not saying what it is. So we're not allowed to know until issue 4.
Right. But I think I don't know. I think the delivery in issue 1, where you see it at the end, you're like, oh shit, right? I think it would have played a lot better in this, because you have, like, again, you have Sue writing to Jen, but then the issue just ends. It just cuts, right? We don't get any extra, like, another snippet, which we were kind of, hypothesizing that might actually happen. Like, that actually, in each issue, we get a little bit more and a little bit more.
Right.
And we didn't in this issue. And I feel like if this had been issue 1, and then we got that last page, it would have been like, because that's why, oh my God, and... But overall, the short story in this one I thought was really good. I liked the detectiveness in it, and I don't know. I really liked this issue more than the first issue. I don't know.
I thought it was a slight upgrade. I think the story was a little bit more compelling. I always like seeing the humanity of Doctor Doom being shown in stories. That's part of what makes his character unique. I will say this issue felt extremely busy to me. Whether it was the art or the writing, I just like this. To me, this feels like a good example, and it's hard to tell on screen like this, but like there's just so many lines and word bubbles and little electrical squiggles that, like, I found it hard to read. I feel like that's a little bit nitpicky, but like I was turned off by that, like, which is Yvonne Cuolo is like one of my favorite artists at Marvel right now. It's not a critique of any one particular person. I just feel like we were a little bit dense here for whatever reason.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, because I've told you before, there's a theory in comics. Again, I don't remember the name of it. I will get it one day and I will ask Ron. But there is a flow to comics. There's an actual structure to it. And in certain books, I think it hits for certain people where, like, it's just like, this isn't it. Like, I'm not in it. It's not flowing. The artwork and the dialogue and the actual writing and how it's constructed is not flowing for me. And it's happened more than once. I think it happened this week, where there was a book that I was really looking forward to, and I was like, it's just, I don't know where my eyes should go. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to do it. And I guarantee you, Nate, that's exactly what you're referencing. Is it just didn't hit that sweet spot where most people are versed in it, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yep.
So anyway, and overall, that was a good issue.
Tindu said F4 is starting off strong. At least they are going to talk about what happened sooner than the new Spider-Man run. Yeah, that's
true. We haven't even gotten that. Joe, do y'all think we will find out what Peter did for 6 months in Dark Web, or will there be another arc? They keep dropping hints, but only for panel, then nothing.
I think we'll get one panel tiny hint or one remark from one character at the very end of Dark Web, and then it won't be picked up again until like the summer.
Oh my God. Sebastian, the Doombot thing was funny. No, that I really liked that whole idea that was set up there by North. Lee, there are some amazing books studying the concept of comic writing flow that I'll look up the titles for you guys. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, there's one. Ron, I remember, talked about it once on one of his lives, and I was like, I gotta check that out. And he showed it to me, and there's literally like comic book writing theory. Yeah, you're right. Like it shows the whole concept. I'd love to do a deep dive on that one day. All right, let's move on to Immortal X-Men issue number 9 by Karen Gillan. Kind of mainly a Sinister book, but a little bit of Kitty Pryde, which I'm digging. And what do you think? I want to. This is raw. What do you think?
I liked it. I thought it was a fun issue. I mean, this is being literally solicited as a Sins of Sinister prelude issue. So
I can see that,
and I think it reads that way. Was not quite what I was expecting, but it shouldn't have been though, because it feels like it fits with Karen Gillan's run perfectly, with the tone that was set right before we started Judgment Day, and it kind of gets me a little bit more excited about Sins of Sinister little event.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I still don't know if I'm going to read it or not, but
yeah,
it makes me second guess my decision.
I love it when you second guess. It's great. Yeah, so Sinister is just fucking the timelines. He's just messing with timelines, and how broken they're going to be at the other end. You know, I would assume Sinister the event itself will lay the groundwork for the fall. I think that's the only way we can go, and I'm digging it. I'm loving Kieran Gillen's vision, and I think he's really, honoring the past and greatness of Hickman. So I don't know. I'm digging it. I want more. I think that's why I'm liking it so much, and why I feel so connected to it. As I just want more lore. I want more awesome, actual data-driven graphs that Kieran actually did, that were kind of mimicking Hickman. I really loved seeing, when we saw that Destiny view of like the infinite possibilities of where the X-Men could go. I'm hoping we get more of that.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like we are. And so, yeah, this got me super pumped for Sins of Sinister. But, dude is desperate in this issue, like super desperate. And we don't really know, again, there's a lot of mystery, right? We don't know what the end goal is outside of him just becoming the most important and powerful mutant of all. Yeah. But we as readers want to know what the drive is, what's the ultimate goal for Sinister. So can't wait for it. And I need to catch up on my Comic Book Herald videos for this, because I'm sure I'm missing dots that he will connect very quickly and easily. Guys, let us know if we were able to get Comic Book Herald on the show. Would you be interested in watching something like that, where we do an interview with Comic Book Herald? Let us know down in the chat. I would love to know, or in the comments if you're watching this as a past episode, because I really do want to reach out to him and get him on the show and talk comics, more specifically X-Men. But let us know. Let's get back to it. Tendu. All right, this was the best issue short of the Destiny issue of Immortal, 2 of the best issues of X-Men of the year. I really want more Orcus. That's the X line is overall missing. I agree. I would love to see more of that, and I'm sure we'll get more when we get closer to fall. But I think that would be cool if we had an actual Orcus book. Joe, I think I'm trading Sins of Sinister. I'm doing my best to filter my pool list so I can try some of those DC books coming out, but already spending $250 a month in comics. I wish I was spending $250. I'm spending way more than that. That's Sebastian says, of course, that would be a sick interview with Comic Book Herald. That would be super cool. Joe, you got my approval if that matters for anything. Of course it does, Joe. That's why we're at, we need it. We need it. Anyway, great issue. All right, Marauders. This one's going to be quick. Orlando's doing some crazy shit. Nate, hurry up. Get on this. It is wild. And I'll just say this. They're fighting in the past, right? They're trying to save the original mutants, and they're fighting in the past. And of course, Orlando is going to pull some time traveling shenanigans. And lo and behold, our big baddie, at least one of them that's in here, surprise, surprise, is a clone of Cable, and that is Strife. Is his name Strife? I can't remember.
Yes. Yep.
Strife. He is posing as somebody else, but it is Strife. He is mucking it up in the past. So things are getting really weird, really cool, really meta in Marauders. If you're not reading it, I would highly recommend picking up the trade. He's doing some crazy stuff. He is continuously raising the bar, where it's like Karen Gillan, Al Ewing, and then it's gonna be Orlando at 3. He's doing some cool stuff, and I'm super excited for it. So go check it out. It's some almost anime level shit. It's pretty cool. So Marvel plus clones equals fun time. Thank you, Lee. I would agree with that. Do interviews. Why not? I want to. I'm going to start reaching out to these people. I'm going to reach out to Comic Book Herald. I want to try. I'm going to try to reach out. I'm going to reach out to all these people. Dan Mora. I would love to talk to him. And then the other one I want to do personally, but it's no, don't do it. I really want to interview Rainbow Rao, who's writing She-Hulk right now. I would love to talk to her, and because what I want to do, I want to ask her why she's not just given an ongoing, and she won't be able to answer that question. But I just want to know why she's not given an ongoing rather than just continuously giving five after five after five. But reach out to Donnie Cates. I would love to, Joe, and you know what? I'm going to. The worst he can say is no, right? Or not respond. Either way. right? And I think that's the thing that I need to get over is I just need to start asking these people to see if they want to come on our show rather than be too worried about the response. The worst they can say is either no or not respond at all, and we're gonna do it. I'm gonna start drafting some emails and we're gonna get this shit done. We need answers even though we don't. Yep, you're right. All right, moving on. We got Predator issue number 5. You know, typical Predator shenanigans. Don't worry about that monster coming after us. Why did you have our ship? Why did you steal it for 15 years? And why are there a bunch of Predator masks on the wall? And our main heroine is like, I don't have time to answer this. We're all going to die. What happens at the end? They all die. So, you know, because they're fucking predators. And she's right, you know? So that's basically it. Big industry gets in the way. We got processes. We've got forms. You need to sign all these documents. I don't really care that you were running away from a killing machine. And it bites them in the ass. Like, you expected it to happen, and everyone's now going to die because they didn't listen to the girl who's been hunting predators for 10 to 15 years. So that's this issue in a nutshell. It is a crazy good time. I highly recommend it. I'm sure. I mean, Ed Brisson has done something that I never thought was possible, and that's me caring about a book, about a Predator book. It's not something that I would be into. So I'm super high on this book. Nice. Lee, if you got to speak with her, I would be so psyched. Oh, with Rainbow, yep. In my experience, they're just excited to discuss their work. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna start sending out emails Monday. We're just gonna do it. All right, Thanos Death Notes. This is a combo pick of the week. This is part 1. This is my first pick of the week.
Oh.
Because of Groenbeck. Groenbeck is the future of Thor. I'm sorry, Donnie. You know, I know you're stepping away, but it's in good hands.
Stepping away. That has not been spoken about absolutely anywhere.
Anyway.
You don't.
It's in good hands. It's in good hands. Groenbeck. She can write Thor, and she can write even higher. She can write. I want Groenbeck to write an event because she is laying down some awesome work, and I'm sure that's their Donnie notes that she's taking cues from. Mm-hmm. And essentially why I like this so much is because we've essentially set up a Donnie Cates level. I don't know what it's not an event. He's just set up more shenanigans, and that is that there is a 7th Infinity Stone, the Black Infinity Stone, and we're finally starting to get some answers to what was really going on when Thor saw his death in the Black Winter. Right, is it the Black Winter? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I love that it felt like Groenbeck took the tone and notes from Donnie, and then she just added in her fucking mix and the way her writing style, and I feel like they meld so well. And so this, for me, this world building.
You're not getting the context of this issue mixed with
no, because she writes the beginning part of this where Thor is looking at the death notes of Thanos, and he's trying to figure out. That's why this is part 1. And I also liked the stories in this book. I liked all the stories with Thanos involved and all of it. I thought it was great. I liked, ever since I read Donnie's Thanos Wins, I've been intrigued with the character. I mean, obviously, you know, in Infinity Gauntlet, it's great, but like, there's just a bigger depth to it. And I loved the story of Thanos and misinterpreting Death's manipulation when he had someone that actually loved him, and it was used against him to be even more just fucking rude. You know what I mean? Like, I liked that. But then I just like the building that we're setting up here with the Black Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones and the Black Infinity Stone. I thought it was really fun. I don't know. Like, for Marvel, this is part 1 pick of the week. I thought it was good.
I was not very
impressed.
It was okay. I thought Groenbeck's parts were the best, right? Although they were small, and feels a little disjointed. I particularly disliked the young Thanos in love bullshit. It reminds me of
it.
Jason Aaron's Thanos Rising, which was the worst Thanos story I've ever read in my life. What was Cantwell's story again? I can't even remember now.
Let me look.
I can't there's one story I'm not remembering, but it just
Cantwell's was the one where Iron Man is dealing with the Thanos bot.
Yeah, that I really enjoyed. That was my favorite one by far.
Okay.
Because it is a direct correlation with Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man number 55, which is the first appearance of Thanos. And I just thought it was a really, really great callback to a classic issue. And it made sense. It shows Cantwell, I think, knows his Iron Man history pretty well. I think that right there, that story of Thanos being like, no, you don't understand. It's not will I win, it's I'm already won. You're living in the past of a future I've already fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Like, you're nothing. That's the Thanos I like. Thanos crying in his shit because a girl had to save his life so he couldn't breathe. It's not Thanos to me, and like it has nothing to do with like it just, I don't know. It feels weird. It feels awkward. It feels like Thanos Rising, which was awful.
I liked it.
The other stuff was kind of boring. I really
the only one
the Cantwell part to me though makes this whole issue worth reading. That part alone.
I thought all the stories were great except for the second to last one. I didn't really care about that one. Like we knew Thanos was that one was meh. It was alright.
Which one was that one?
The one that was drawn by what's his name? The typical Thanos Silver Surfer.
The one that was
artist.
drawn by Ron Lim.
Yeah. I didn't. That one was okay.
I thought it felt like a '90s Ron Lim.
Right.
Shoot, who's the guy that wrote? Doesn't matter. You're right. It did feel like that.
Out of all the stories, that was the lowest for me. I genuinely did like the love story thing. I thought it was cool. Like it was just something that I had never thought I'd read about Thanos, and I'm sure it doesn't make sense, and that's fine. But I thought it was cool. I did like I thought the Cantwell was great. I was like, I would read a Cantwell Thanos book. I'd really read anything Cantwell's writing, to be honest.
See, this is that Cantwell story to me. I just like, wouldn't it have been cooler if Cantwell's issue 26 was of Iron Man dealing with.
Look, man, it's been months. You gotta get over it.
It's literally been less than 1 month, and you're going on about something that happened 4 years ago. Big difference.
Hey, man. Whatever. Calvin, could you imagine Thanos with a death note? No, that would be absolutely horrible. Do you know what he's referencing? That
it's the manga or the anime, but I don't know.
Yeah, death note. Dude, you need to watch it. That shit's crazy. It wasn't bad, but the Thanos run where Cosmic Ghost Rider came from will always be GOAT status. Tendu, you're so right. It was so good. But that was a combination of just Donny Cates being fucking metal and the artwork, which I think a lot of people probably saw that at first and was like, I don't know, but it was so metal, dude. Like that whole story is so good. Joe, one more, I'm gonna go back. He says, I wonder if they would put Predator in the Marvel universe like they did with Conan. It would be dope to see him face off with Wolverine or Kraven. Kraven actually would be cool, and I don't like Kraven, but that would be a dope story. It'd be cool if they were both there. I think it would be Kraven. Like it should be like that one movie where like they would take humans and put them on a planet, and then they'd have to hunt. Kraven, Wolverine, Blade. There's somebody else. There's someone I'm missing. Give me that one, guys. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy. Or I gotta go, guys. I'll watch the recap after my stream. Thank you for the awesome show, Lee. Let us know where you're streaming. Let us put in the chat so everybody can. Yeah. Let us help you.
Hold on. I can put in direct links if you could keep going.
All right. Next up, we have Thor issue number 29 from Groenbeck. Continuing on, this is part 2 of my Marvel pickup. We're building the intrigue. We're building this. Oh, Punisher. You're right, Calvin. Punisher would be the last person to fight the Predator on the planet. I think Groenbeck you know, if there needs to be a new writer, she needs to be it. That's the end of story. Klein, as always, amazing. I took a picture in this book that I will post on social soon whenever we don't have a show, and it's Thor literally being swallowed up by a shadow, and his face looks like, oh shit. It was, the artwork in this book was so good, but the story is really good. I'm intrigued to see where we're going, you know, how we're gonna deal with this Black Infinity Stone and Black Gauntlet, and Thanos wielding Mjolnir infused with the stones. I don't know. I just liked it. I think Groenbeck is really growing into telling really, really, really good Thor stories. And then if she can take the bones that Donny Cates has created, has set forth, she has a fantastic foundation to really build upon. And she doesn't need it. She wrote those Valkyrie stories, and we both were like, bomb, right? So she's all that's happening. She's been given this golden walkway to just amplify her writing style and her storytelling. So I'm here for it. I am 100% here for it.
Yep. I don't have a lot to add. I'm glad Nick Klein's back on the art here. I think it's interesting that we're getting more of the Thor family legacy added in there. Yeah. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, anytime you put Nick Klein on the art, I'll be happy.
Jesus, he's so good. So good. Let's get him on the show too.
I'm curious to see how all this stuff's going to tie into.
I can't agree more.
Also, I got the link in the chat.
Nice. Everybody go check that out.
To do after our live stream.
Yeah, go check out Lee's stream. Go follow her on Twitch. X-Force issue number 35. Quick and sweet. Beast gets caught, and it remains to be seen, but hopefully he answers for his atrocities towards mutants, because it's looking like he might. So, you know, after this arc, I think I'm done with X-Force. Shall we? But it's not, the art was kind of crap in this book, and I just feel like we're kind of flatlining a little bit. So, you know, Beast's upcomings has been long overdue, and it looks like we're finally getting there, but I think I'm done after this. X-Force was fun. Beast getting worse is great, but we will see. Yeah, I just don't know where we're gonna go. You know, like I'm not getting hooked, and that's the problem for me, unfortunately. All right, X-Men Red issue.
Joe, Thanos, Thor. Read Thanos first for sure. There's a clear Thanos first, then Thor when you're reading those stories.
Agreed. All right, X-Men Red issue number 9. We're gonna go a little quicker here, but this book was fire. Sunspot is a beast, and it's about to go down. And again, I have a feeling Abigail is going to get caught, but will she answer for her crimes? Who knows? But
I think she'll find a way to slip away,
slither it out. But not without, you know, getting damaged for sure. This, you know, Ewing is he's just fire, and the dude knows how to weave a story and how to really set the chess pieces up. 3D chess. I don't know, man. He did a really good job, and I'm really liking where Sunspot is sitting right now. Literally, I don't know. It was just a great issue.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think that resurrecting Gabriel is such an obviously bad idea, and the fact that Xavier just sort of looked at Brand's suggestion, it was like, yeah, it makes sense, and I think I could totally fix him with my brain surgery shit, and it just shows you that I think Al Ewing is on the Xavier is a bad guy train, and clearly writes on purpose to make him look like an idiot and a bad guy. That he is.
Right.
So I agree. But it's just so obviously a bad idea. And it goes exactly how you would expect. Luckily, there are still some people out in space and on this sword/red, space team that actually can see what's going on and maneuver around that a little bit. But
yeah,
this is still my favorite X book.
It's solid. It has not missed yet. Tinder says Storm can't beat Vulcan, so I want to know how they're going to do this. I don't know.
I don't know that I agree with that at all. Especially because power doesn't actually. Okay, I meant to say this in the Captain Marvel, so let me just say it now real quick, because we've already passed the 2 books I meant to bring it up in.
Okay.
Captain Marvel, we had Polaris decide that she can create an electromagnetic shield, metal bending powers to create pockets to where people can survive in space. That's like, we're stretching this shit so far, it's ridiculous. And then Ryan North decided to up it by saying that Mr. Fantastic can transmorph his eyeballs into his fingertips so that he can study something closely. That's fucking dumb. I don't like that at all. There is no suggestion that like, it was a stretch whenever he morphed his face into something different. Just because you can stretch your skin doesn't mean you can do that, but I'll allow it. It makes sense. His eyeballs literally, like,
it was creepy as fuck.
It moved like he has stretching powers. He doesn't have the ability to grow eyeballs on his fingers. It's so dumb.
Well, he moved his eyeball.
It's dumb. I don't like it. It's dumb. It's too far. Like, I understand it, but it doesn't matter. That's not my point. My point is that this is comics, and all of our powers don't mean anything. There's no such thing as power limits. There's no such thing as who's stronger than other. It's all what you want to write. So if Al Ewing wants Storm to absolutely eviscerate Vulcan, she's going to do it in 2 seconds, and there's no.
But we just bitched about the King in Black not being, it doesn't make sense. Like, we just complained about how it made no sense that the King in Black just got clubbed over the head with a Lobo staff and Limbo staff, and I don't know, whatever.
I don't know what point you're trying to make.
I don't
Except
either.
That I'm right, and I agree.
You agree. Right, Joe, halftime question.
Oh, okay.
We're 3 weeks away till we are in another year, so I'm going to ask each week from each Marvel, DC, and Indie of your pick of the year. This week is Indie. Mine is Do a Powerbomb.
Oh no. Okay. Ooh.
Joe, I'm going to agree with you. This is kind of giving spoilers, but Do a Powerbomb is probably for me.
Weak.
Why is that weak?
Just copying him. That's
no, it's not. The book made me cry, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it made me a little teary today too.
I'm not copying. It really is. I think that's for independence. It's my pick of the week, and I know, but I'm not reading all the independence you're reading, Nate. Like, you have books that you absolutely love that I've never read.
Get on my level. That's all I'm trying to say.
Shut
right?
the fuck up. Anyway, I would say Do a Powerbomb. I'm right there with you, Joe. Do a Powerbomb is probably my indie pick of the week, or pick of the year. It's just, again, because what it did was it made me like something that I really have no connection to anymore, and that's professional wrestling. And it made a subject matter that I could give 2 shits about, worth something and matter something when I was reading, where I was like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? How are they going to do this? Oh, what, yeah. Level, that top tier level. It deserves Danny Ward Johnson. I think the previous year is what he wrote last year, which was Beta Ray Bill, was my top Marvel pick. Like, the dude can write and the dude can freaking illustrate. Like, he's just he's all in one. Go ahead, Nate. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Oh, I'm not going to say you're wrong. I am going to go because I'm trying, timelines are fuzzy, so I'm trying to see
right.
If a majority of the issues for something has come out in 2022, then that counts, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I would go with Silver Coin. 5 issues of that 12-issue run so far have come out in 2021. 7 issues came out in 2022. So if that counts, I'm going with Silver Coin. If that doesn't count, and you make me choose another one, I am going to go with a sleeper pick that you are totally going to disagree with.
Okay.
That is going to be The Rush by Cy Spurrier.
That's okay, because you're so big brain, that I can't even argue it, because I can't even read that book. Like I can't even read
stop.
it. It's true. I can't read it.
You just gotta go.
Book is so hard to read, dude.
Anyway, Joe, that is a fire question.
Yeah, good question. Love it.
Because it forced me to make that decision. Silver Coin.
I'm gonna go
Silver Coin. I mean, I didn't have to, but
I love that.
Put me in a spot to where I felt like I should.
Silver Coin, yeah, I can see that was a really good book. I think if it hadn't been for issue 15, where it was just even the guy that series it is was like, this makes me uncomfortable, then yeah, I think it would have been in consideration for sure. That was gross. All right, let's move on to DC. We got Batman 130. If I had a DC pick of the week, yeah, it'd be this one.
Yeah, me too, because it's my only one.
Well, I mean, I had Azrael, but this was just fire. Chip is firing in all cylinders. Jimenez is firing in all cylinders, and we quite literally have a cliffhanger at the end of this book. Like, we do not know. I mean, I guess it's assumed Batman's gonna live, but God, this book makes you feel like he ain't, like he's dead. I just liked. I really dug how Batman went out, and this is gonna sound stupid, but it reminded me of Lego Batman movie, because it happens to him in that movie, where it looks like he's gonna figure it out, and then the dude gets zapped to the Phantom Zone, and it's like, oh shit, Batman's gone. I don't know. I just thought it was good. I liked the inner monologue that Batman had, talking about the Robins and how each of them would approach the situation differently when they're fighting Failsafe, and how he kind of says that Tim Drake is like essentially the best, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know, like it was standard B+ Chip Zdarsky. It's I don't think it blew me away. Obviously, the Red Bull jump from space was very silly, but I still thought it was fun. I thought that the way that we sort of ended things with Failsafe was maybe a little weak, but I guess kind of makes sense.
Right.
I think Zdarsky kind of wrote himself into a corner a little bit and was like, fuck, like, how do we get out of this? Because everything I've said that he can do is just not beatable. So it felt a little gimmicky to me, but it wasn't that bad. And the Jimenez artwork is A++. So anytime he's doing your art, like, it instantly elevates your book.
Yep. And I think the outcome makes sense, right? After the threat has been eliminated, I'm done. Like, that's quite literally my only directive, is to eliminate Batman. Whatever gets in the way must be obviously taken. It's a secondary directive, but it's only because it's in the way of me getting rid of Batman. So once it's over, it's like, okay, I'm done. Bye. Phew. Like that's a total, Chat GPT response. Like that's what it is. It's just comics.
Sorry, I'm getting I got confused over here. Patty's putting foreign units over here, not freedom units. So,
not freedom units. What are you doing over here?
We need freedom units, Patty. No.
Kilometers.
Kilometers. What's a kilometer? All right.
Joe, if he is dead, but this took place before Dark Crisis, it makes zero sense. Comics, do they not share notes at DC? Because we know this will be a cop-out, and for that being the wrap-up issue for this big issue arc is bad. Excuse me. He's
not dead.
He's not.
He's not dead. No one's dead. None of them are dead. Also, do they share notes at DC? I don't think so. Hopefully James Gunn starts making sure. Hopefully,
I think that's one thing that we can with confidence say is no one at DC shares notes outside of like, hey, go read this, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, and I guess I agree with you.
That's not true, because Chip Zdarsky literally was just talking about having meetings with all of the Bat Writers, so like obviously not true.
Whatever that means.
It just doesn't seem like Battle for the Count 2. I'd be down for that. I still need to read it
Patty, LOL guy, LOL, sorry guys, but yeah, I love this. I wonder what will happen with Failsafe becoming compassionate in the future. I mean, I think it's a setup for a new character, and when we need that OP, it's gonna be good to have Failsafe in your back pocket for sure. Joe, I'm not mad about the fall from space. They already make Batman crazy OP for being a human. I agree. All right, Azrael, real quick. Shit's about to go down. Azrael has finally become self-aware, and he is aware of his programming, and he is kind of embracing his inner angel of death, essentially. And we're gonna get a big showdown in issue 6. This book is crazy fun, silly goose time. There's another angel that has been, essentially an Azrael 2.0 that has been converted and made by the Templars, and shit is about to go down. Wicked awesome artwork. This book's art is gas fire. Like, it's really good, and I highly recommend it. I was not an Azrael fan. I didn't know much about him outside of him taking the mantle of Batman and killing people, and then him being just a crazy, a religious nut. So this book has definitely converted me into an Azrael fan. So I'm hoping that we'll get more. I hope we get another mini with Azrael, and hopefully this writer artist duo stays on it, because it definitely sold the book for me, and I can't wait for the final issue. Joe, that looks like Undertaker on the cover. He kind of is a little bit, just a little bit. All right, let's jump over to our independents. And gosh darn it, it was stacked this week. Like, stacked. It's so stacked. There are books that didn't even make, like, I forgot that I was picking up, and I forgot to put it in the list.
Oh damn.
2 of them actually. Before we get to this one, we had Behold Behemoth. This was really good. It didn't have a issue 2 slump, and I will be continuing to read this. This is going past a boom number 1. I really enjoyed it, and Nate, you need to go pick it up. I think you'll like this issue.
Missed out on that one.
We jump into the the here and now, where everything is devastated, and we're trying to figure out the mystery between this little girl and this dude and how they're connected. It's pretty cool. Know Your Station. I was gonna be honest, when I saw that this was guys, till next week, we'll rant on X-Men again later. Tendu.
See you, Tendu. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. I wasn't sure about this book when we had it on. I was like, oh, it's a boom number 1. I'll give it a shot. I'll read it. And I'll be honest with you, the first 4 to 5 pages, I was like, uh-oh, this is not, I don't know, like, it wasn't hooking me, right?
Okay.
And then we get the first reveal of the dead body, and I was like, oh. Color me intrigued, right? But then at the end, holy fuck balls, like, this is an automatic sub. I'm intrigued and very interested. And I think the reason why I was worried is because you said, I think Sarah is the one that wrote this. She wrote Eat the Rich. And I remember reading the first issue and being like, not for me.
Right.
This one, complete opposite.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know that I feel that enthusiastic about it, but I'm definitely intrigued. I felt like we were going to have a little bit more of an obvious disparity, like the way that this was solicited was like, oh hey, you've got the super rich people in space and the poor people down on Earth, and I thought we were going to sort of see both of those worlds, and we were only up on the station, which is fine. It just wasn't what I was expecting and kind of threw me off. But I think if I readjust, like, there was nothing that really gave us hints that it was gonna be that way, but I'll readjust and judge issue 2 from that perspective. But I'll definitely be picking issue 2. Like, yeah, I mean, this is just another book that Boom is picking up that is doing exactly what needs to be done. And Liana Congus is the artist. and I really enjoyed her art. I thought it was really great. So I would like to look up her stuff, see what else she's got.
Yeah, no, I just think it feels different. It feels new, and it's kind of exciting to get a concept where you're like, oh, I thought this was going to go one way, and it went in a completely different direction. And again, at first, like the first couple pages, like I don't know if I'm going to get into this, and then it turned it around for sure. So it at least got me to issue 2, maybe even 3, if it continues this kind of intriguing idea of this, liaison who's kind of a detective a little bit, gets put into a very shitty situation where you think it's going in one, literally it's going in one direction, and then at the end it just completely flips the narrative. Yeah. And I did not expect that. And I really liked the dialogue between our main character and the AI.
For sure, yeah, that was written really well.
It had, it had very Karen Gillan and the Machine properties to it, but even more humorous and more witty, which I really did like. Patty, this book, now Know Your Station looks interesting. I'll have to wait and see how it goes and think about the trade or something. That's totally, I would agree with that. But I would go pick up 1 if you can find it and just put it in a Mylar and put it away, because I could see this potentially having some Netflix or anything ability being picked up. It's a really cool story. I dug it a lot. Nice. Before we do a power bomb, the other book that I completely forgot that I subbed to, but have it, All Against All. If you're looking for a really cool sci-fi post-apocalyptic future show book, and then you're looking for just crazy amazing coloring and artwork, get this book. This thing is insane. We'll be picking up an issue 2. I did not know what to expect, but when I read it and got to the end of it, I was like, this week is a independent week. So Lee, if you're watching this as a past recap, just letting you know now, my picks of the week that I would love to have up on our little shelf is Know Your Station, All Against All, and then Do a Powerbomb. Because Powerbomb is my official we'll push the button
That's Jim's
pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Oh, it's yours too?
That's
Oh, then it's Guy's pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Damn you, Daniel Warren Johnson. Like, again, I didn't know how this book was going to end, and it didn't end the way I thought it was going to, but if I didn't fucking cry, and circumstances be damned, right, with whatever's going on in my life, this just kicked me in the nads, man, and got me crying because, again, you're taking a subject matter that I used to love when I was like 12, and then I never gave 2 shits about it after like high school. And then you're talking about professional wrestling, which I don't care about, and making it relative and making it consequential and making it just make the whole concept completely come together. In issue 6, when it was like, oh, and now we're gonna wrestle God, I was like, wait, what are we doing here? Like, this is a gimmick. And then you wrestle God, and it is the most epic and bombastic event ever. And I was reading it, and I was like, oh, like I was just in it. And that says something about Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork. The dude is fucking talented. Like, I wish when I was in high school I had just kept going down the road of learning how to draw and like just practicing, because this is where it'll get you. Like, this shit is insane. But again, the ending I did not expect, and for it to have that message, I was like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a really powerful message. I think some people could have like jumped the conclusion of, and that's that they beat God somehow, or that they lose to God, but God is somehow
it still grants them their wish,
and grants them their wish, and they get their mom back anyway. And that I think that probably takes a lot of the meaning of this book away. And I think the ending that we were given was just perfect.
It's French kiss. It's chef's kiss. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, it's because it's the ending we didn't know.
He slipped because he wants to French kiss.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I do. I totally do. It's the ending we didn't know we needed. Right. We were thinking we were going to get one that we wanted, but then we got the one we needed, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And like for a split second, that I don't want to say primal feeling, but I think the person that wants like that crazy resolution, I'm not gonna lie, for a split second I was like, but then I was like, wait, no, this is so human. It's so it's exactly what we need. And I'm not gonna give it away. You need to go redo Powerbomb if you're not, even if you absolutely hate wrestling. It will make you feel right. It'll make you feel.
Absolutely hate wrestling. I think it is the stupidest sport of all the sports.
But then Daniel Warren Johnson
has nothing to do with that, though. Like it's just the vessel for telling our story.
Yeah, and it delivered. It absolutely delivered it, almost shiningly. You know, it didn't even take a hit. Wasn't hit by anything criticism wise. It was amazing. If anything, I want to know more about some of the characters that he developed that we never got to see. More, you know, there were wrestling duos that we never got to see fight, and I'm like, I want to see that. I want to see where that went, because it was so goddamn epic. And Daniel Warren Johnson will also be on the list of people that I'm going to try to get on the show. I'm going to send him an email and say, bro, talk us through Do a Powerbomb. Let us know. Like, and what's next? Please tell me it's more Beta Ray Bell.
Right.
That's our pick of the week. All right, last book of the night, Noctera Val Special. Let me know, Nate. Was it
Joe, I'm sorry, I don't hate you. That has nothing to do with you. I'm talking about like TV wrestling, not like professional wrestling.
Was it everything? Was it good, or were my fears that it was going to be another Blacktop Bill special?
I think your fears were no. I think this is a valuable issue. I think that if you're invested in the Noctera story, I think this is a valuable issue, because what Jim was worried about is that this is really going to just be only context through the back that really doesn't push our story forward and really doesn't mean much of it. And we got both. We got a little bit of a backstory with Val, but we also got what's going on with Val. So we get confirmation that Val is has been changed in whatever way. Like, you know, she's all black now. She's like a shadow. She's not like a shadow, like she's been converted into something evil, but she's like what Top Bill was.
Gotcha.
But I can't remember what the main guy's name that survives with her.
I don't remember either. Get all the people on the show. You're right, Batty.
All right, we need to get them all. Oh, it doesn't matter. She keeps one of the guys, the main guy from the station, alive, and is carrying and dragging him with her. And we get a flashback to the first time that she has somebody that she, a leader, someone that's like showing how to survive in the new nighttime.
Gotcha.
So this is a short story following basically her and Emery being involved with the what do they call their group? The Ferrymen. You know, like the River Styx and
yeah. I understand.
This guy that she's with is going to community, showing them how to convert their trucks from gas powered to electric powered, so that they can try to create a unit of collected communities that can rely on each other and are open to one another. They end up going to a particular one that's really well known. It was a laser factory or something. So obviously it was has a ton of electricity, a ton of lights, a ton of protection, and they end up backstabbing this guy. They barely escape in a shootout, but he takes a bullet to the abdomen and eventually dies. And she basically talks about how this interaction with this guy, we need to be involved in this version of humanity with each other. But she also says, "But I'm not a perfect human," and it shows that she actually a year later goes back to that place because what it turns out that little community was doing was luring people in and say, "Hey, we'll let you in, we'll help you. Anybody's welcome to come." And then they were killing them and freezing their bodies in meat trucks and eating them. And so the guy was like, no, don't cut them off. Just tell everybody so they won't go there, and then they'll lose meat, and then they will, convert and say, "Hey, we're sorry, we give up. We want to join your ferryman." And, that's how you win them over. And she's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And of course, a year later, they contact her and want to join. She goes and is like, "Yeah, we're going to join." And Emery, at the very beginning of the issue, creates a whistle that is supposed to attract the shadows. And she lies to the guy about what it is, and he blows the whistle, and then a bunch of shadows attack, and she drives away. So it shows you a lot of character growth from Val, shows you where she's been, what she's done, kind of where she's going. And plus it also shows kind of like, I think our next arc is probably going to continue to focus on the granddaughter as our main creator, maybe with some smaller stories, smaller pages dedicated to Val. So I feel like this helps us understand what's going on with Val and where she's what her motivations are.
All right, I might go pick it up. Yeah. Get all the people on the show. Patty, I should have get this comic. I thought about it doing that. Damn, batteries cost so much right now. Maybe in a few years, or if I find a scrappy Tesla, pop it into a classic car, that'd be dope.
Right.
Joe says, if you get any of these writers or artists cough, Junior cough, you think he won't fanboy out? If it was Junior, I don't think I'd fanboy out. I wouldn't.
Well, not Junior now.
Taylor Johnson, yes, said I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be able to talk. What if we got Peach?
I would probably feel uncomfortable there because I'm not very good with language barriers.
Well, we'd get a translator. Like, I'm sure we'd get a translator.
Right. And then have you ever had a full-on hour-long?
I mean,
I haven't. It seems like it would be a little bit uncomfortable or weird to do. That's all I'm saying.
We got to push the boundaries, though. That's the whole point.
That's all I'm saying is it seems like it might be a little.
Dude's stressing out over a hypothetical hour-long.
I'm ready to play Destiny. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this week's what am I talking about? Bro, this is gonna do for our comic book review show, our live show. You threw me off. For episode 114 of Two Fat Guys Pull List, we appreciate every single one of y'all that have watched this live and as a past episode, or you're catching up. We could not do it without you. We love hanging out with you guys, talking comics, hanging out. It's what we love to do. So thanks for being here. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. It's very important that you do. And we will catch you guys this Tuesday for another new Comic Book Day video for the week of December 14th. It's a good one, guys. It's way smaller than this episode, but there's still some bangers. There's some good books coming out, and it's going to be super fun. So make sure to check that out, and then keep your eyes peeled and open for Marvel solicitations for March. I don't know if they'll drop this week or next, but that video will be coming when that list comes out. So be on the lookout for that. And any other new comic book news. Maybe March. I want to say March is when DC is going to drop all those new DC books. So we might do a video on that. We'll have to wait and see. Just got to see what comes out. But again, thank every single one of y'all for watching. And we will catch you guys live next Sunday. And obviously for New Comic Book Day and any other breaking comic book news. As always, fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Also, Joe, what happened with the Cowboys today? Jesus Christ.
Dude, they almost lost that game.
They almost lost
that game.
Oh.
I was sitting there watching it, and my dad was on the phone, and he's like, they're going to fucking lose this game. I was like, dude, how?
I was so nervous I quit watching. I couldn't do it.
That is insane. But this isn't a comic book podcast, so we'll catch you guys later.
No, this is a comic book podcast.
I'm sorry, this is not a football podcast.
We should
I need to
football
go.
comics.
Joe goes, bruh.